Sometimes there's a drag on the wings of a plane and it makes it go slower. Hi everyone and welcome to Here Be Dragons, the most professional game here on the Lost Long Lore channel. I'm going to say the channel name wrong. I thought of doing it after I said it, so I said it twice. Professionalism at its fineriest. My name is Philip and I'm the Dragon Master, and I'm a real drag on the proceedings. I'm dragging the proceedings down, that would have been the better thing to say. And ensconcing me are our wonderful players. Say, we didn't sign up for this, players.
We did not sign up for this.
Didn't start the fire.
Oh,
there you go.
Interesting. I just signed on here because I was about to tell a story in our... Actually, I wasn't. We all just logged onto Zoom. We haven't been talking at all.
Yeah, no, none of us have spoken.
Okay, so actually it's about that. So I've been coughing.
Who
right?
are these people?
Yeah. What is happening? Who are you?
We don't even know each other. We're not at all
gosh.
friends.
What are you doing in my house?
How did you guys get on my screen? Have I been hacked?
Where am I?
Is
that
this
movie,
my house?
What, was
Just
it
a boring
Windows?
situation?
Windows was the movie with Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey, where he saw
I don't know.
where it's like entirely in one screen, like a movie that exists.
Oh.
Screen of and like different windows popped up.
Unfriended?
No, that's the one with John Cho.
Okay.
You guys watch way too many.
There's a lot of movies about where it's just a screen.
This was like
Gentle?
one of. I think this was the first.
Understood. Well, in any event, speaking of streams of coughing, it's not really a stream. It's actually a very dry cough I've had for a few weeks. But I was going to tell a Robitussin story, which is one of my favorite stories ever. When I was a small child, we were in DeRidder, Louisiana, which is where my grandparents lived, and it was me and my brother and my 3 cousins. So we were all kids. I think we were all between the ages of like 10 and 5, right? And I had a cough, and my grandfather was like, here's some Robitussin, and he gave me Robitussin to stop me from coughing. This was right before we left to go to church for Christmas Eve. No. And then he said, he looked at all the other kids and was like, let's just make sure nobody coughs. So he gave all of the children Robitussin and then sent them to church. And then we, like, by the time we're in church, we're just like, and then we're all just like, we pass out immediately, all 5 of us. And everyone's like, what is wrong? Like, is there like a leak in here? Like, what's going on? Every single... we're just like barely awake. Like, anyway, the moral of the story is, if you want to have a fun time at boarding school, drink a bottle of Robitussin, and then watch a scary movie.
I like them already.
Or you can also have some fun with Benadryl. In my experience, it makes you tired.
Vanilla extract in a Diet Coke. But you have to keep it down. You can't throw it up.
Oh, vanilla extract. Yep, it is. Yep, that is. Wow, that's a great story.
Or
how many you got?
A random bottle of Bermuda blue spray paint that you found in the closet.
Sure.
On the hall.
Sure.
I'm fine, you guys.
I know what no one.
I think given what you just
you got to flip it.
You gotta swipe your hat.
What you just said. There we go. All right.
There we go.
Let's
never naughty, always nice.
Well, let's play this. Speaking of bad behavior, let's take a trip to the Lost Taverns. We're getting to the end here. We have done box 18. So now there's like, I don't know, 5 more? 6 more? Who could possibly count? We're doing box 19 tonight. That's here. Now, as of now, every single cave spider has been found. Every single dwarven hammer except for the D10 has been found. And then of the gems, we are still looking for a D8, a D percentile, and a D12. So there's 4 from those sets, but there also are going to be the dice that aren't in any of the box, like that aren't from the set. For example, this is a fishbone die that the number of bones on the thing tells you, and I assume this is what like Gollum would have been eating down, because though I say it's Lost Taverns, it is of course Lost Caverns. You know, it's supposed to be like that. So, There we go. Everyone, what would we like to guess?
Sorry, what is missing from the gemstone?
From the gemstone, we are missing D8, D%, D12.
D8. Gemstone D8.
You're saying gemstone D8. Also, you don't have to do this if you find this game dumb.
The missing dwarven hammer.
Missing dwarven hammer. So D10 dwarven hammer, D8 gem. Would you guys like to play, or do you just
What's the D12 go to? I'm going to guess D12 because I heard you say that.
Perfect. D12 gems. Great.
Percentage die.
Percentile. So you are all guessing. So the likelihood that one of you is right tonight is high, unless it's another unsourced die. You know what? Because all 4 of you are guessing, and the likelihood that someone is right is high, I will say the person who is right tonight gets 1 extra luck die. There you go.
Okay.
So, Pierce is D8. Anna is Pierce is gem D8.
12.
Anna is gem 12. Jed is gem %. And Vanda is hammers D10. It is a gem D12. That means
Well done.
Anna is the victor. And to the victor.
Yay.
Yes.
And it's for barbarians. That's the D12, so it's very appropriate.
Oh, Chishu.
Let's see how we roll on our very first roll with this D12.
I hope it's violent.
It is, I cannot, upend everything, but it is a 12. Max
Wonderful.
damage on the first roll.
And it's the 12 days of Christmas soon.
Yes. Starting on
12 days of Christmas.
the D12 days of Christmas.
Why do we not have that?
Excellent work. So, let's all go ahead and just before I even do the recap while we're thinking of it, if everyone would roll 4d8. And today, both Anna and Jed, you will be having a... how'd you do?
Rolled 3 8s.
3 8s?
Wow.
Okay, well then you have 6 dice today. 6 luck dice.
Wow. My luck's legit right now.
Hey,
I have a
wait.
pair.
Yeah, you have 6.
Wait, I have 1 pair, so that means I have 3 dice plus I won, so I have 4 dice, really?
You have, you had 1 pair, so you have 5 today. You have 5, you'll have 5 luck dice. Jed will have 6 luck dice for the day. How did Pierce and Vanda fare?
I rolled a pair of 8s.
You rolled a pair of 8s, so you have 4. And I think Vanda might have frozen.
Also, hey, remember last game where I rolled 4 6s
Okay.
I do
and
remember that.
never made a luck roll?
I do remember that, actually.
Yeah.
That
Sounds
wild.
right.
Some stuff
That
happened.
sounds so right, actually.
Some stuff happened last time.
Well, I will never ask anything of Philip that triggers him going, you know what, make a luck roll.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not interested.
I'm just, that's just not a player thing I do.
Yeah. Because that won't go well for me. Oh no. I hope that Vanda's internet is not... I hope that is a momentary lapse in the net.
Which is why I would be a taskmaster. Because I'm not going to do some lateral thinking here.
No. Yeah. It says to do this, I go straight into the thing. Well, I'm going to start doing a recap, and hopefully Vanda will remember this, and we'll just recap Vanda when she returns. But this is a recap that will largely also be for Anna, who missed that last session, and everyone, just to remember. So, obviously, dragons, you have escaped the Dreadlands. You've changed your nature using the transmutive power of Kog'Maw to become dragons, not of Wyrmloth, but of Wishworld, of Mondeville, which has led to rising tensions among the group, and specifically tensions between, interestingly, it's both tension between Buku and Elan, but also tension of Buku and Elan against the others, as a growing schism appears in this group as to whether or not it is on you all to grant the same alteration to break the curse for all of dragons of Wyrmloth. The situation here is getting complicated. You sort of chased the already fleeing bipeds out of Lord Buku's home in Bazankin, in Crowneth Bazank. Then kind of had some bad. There's some tense vibes there where it's like Buku Bazan is now the final Bazan, and you met with Sparkminster, who was kind of like in charge of what resistance there is that is now ramping up, and you kind of felt that Fulbright Sparkminster that she was kind of not on your wavelength, out for vengeance. She's also evil, like you're aware of that, and so she's kind of but she was very resistant to you guys explaining your change that you underwent, your new nature. She did not. She was like, no, it's not a curse, it's an opportunity. We're better than other dragons, etc. So you guys were like, okay, that's not great. You also kind of got the feeling that there's going to be a lot of treasure has been taken from hordes, which means a lot of the land is blighted by kind of like a haunting of the restless spirits of dragons who've been done. The shadows are spreading throughout all of this. I wonder how that will affect your friends in the Umbral Court. Who knows? But then when you go to Fulbright Sparkminster was suggesting that she's going to relax the ban on like dragons leaving and returning, and basically saying we should just go full pillage now. Let's just go out and steal everything. So it's kind of a rough situation. Thinking of this, however, you then decided to go and visit. You were going to check in on some of your other homesteads, and you went to Boglach, where XigXag is from, and you met XigXag's tentacle-faced, Drago Illithid. I always get it backwards. Sort of parent who had kind of adopted XigXag and raised her, and Quadrazux was kind of, despite being terrifying and almost having tongues for a face, which Lord Buku and Shishu presumably were very freaked out by, was actually much nicer than most monstrous, terrifying dragons one would expect. While there, you
a real dad.
Yeah, so liked making dad jokes, etc. But while there, one thing that happened was you used a sort of like a remote viewing apparatus that was there in that sort of sunken fortress to check in on the Buteros homestead. Now, Shishu, I didn't really go into what Shishu's feelings on this were, but effectively, when the corpses of your parents were seen on this remote viewing thing, because they were slain by bipeds, your brother effectively...
Hilarious.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your brother kind of just said...
Tara's response.
Like... It's actually, your mother's corpse was not seen. Only a few of the dragons saw that. The others did not. But Elon was just like, "Oh, cool, my dad's meditating. No worries. We gotta go. We'll talk to him later." And then he just went and stared into a dark abyss in one of the cellars for a while.
Yeah, my mother would never literally be caught dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The what Shishu was unaware of, based on what they saw, is that your mother
I just got that.
basically. You got there? Yeah. Your mother took out several bipeds. Your father did not. He was either caught unawares or just so indignant. Or he was just too busy innovating.
I think he was working on, yeah. I don't know. I could just hear his voice talking to Elon, and definitely not me,
Exactly, yes. Yeah, you never really spoke to the guy, so it's hard for you to tell, but
No, I spoke to him.
You spoke to him. That is fair. So in any case, Shishu, yes. I will kind of leave it up to you. We didn't make a decision on your behalf. If sort of your reaction to that, if you just kind of, if you have dealt with that reality in a more sort of coherent way than Elan did, or if you've...
Yeah, I'm coherent in understanding that my dad's probably meditating.
Okay, cool. So gotcha. So just there with your brother. Perfect. Okay. At this point, the dragons then reconvened, and we kind of had a very, very, very long talk, which this group, shocker. Usually you guys are just like nothing but action, like just like rushing through, like it's like
we're
role play. I
believers
hardly know play.
Yeah, we're big believers in thrift and just concise action.
Yeah, none of you really like sort of talking as characters. So there was a rather long but also very kind of interesting discussion as the dragons really did sort of realize that there are deep fissures in this group, that Elon and Lord Buku, or that I should say Tongart and XigXag feel that nothing's going to be okay unless they break this curse, because this curse is wide-ranging and reaching, and it has altered your world, and you have to do something about it. Like, now that you see the situation, it's either going to be nothing but bloodshed for all these dragons and the rest of the stuff. And as Tongart pointed out, this policy, this world that has been created, has led to dragons that can consume planes, which means at some point somebody will destroy this plane rather than let this go on. And there is this ancient other dragon, this Iodor, who's at the heart of it, and even though that's a very powerful creature that you have to go after, at some point, you guys feel that's probably a thing we need to do. And I think that Tongart and XigXag, Tongart also, it sounds like you now do not want to go visit your home, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
You asked, they asked if I wanted to view. I said no.
You kind of got the impression of how things might be. So I took it that XigXag and Tongart are more advocating, let's go to Wishworld, or at least let's commune with the goddess and sort of learn what Wenha can tell us and if there is a chance for a wish to be cast. Because there are there's so many. There are a total of, there's your 5 wishes, and then there's the 3 wishes in the Luck Blade.
Yeah.
And you're pretty sure you haven't even tried it, but with your Arcana stuff, Buku, you could stick 2 of those into your ring if you wanted to. You could kind of what you doing, or you could stick all 3 of them in your ring. But I think you were saying we might want to leave one for Lagak to revive us if necessary or something.
Break in case of emergency.
Yeah, exactly. So that does give you a total of 8 wishes for this group, which is a lot of wishes.
It is.
And they are Wenha wishes, which means they, though you still want to be careful about saying the word wish, these wishes tend to try to do what you want. It's more about power level if they can, as opposed to a funny little trick. It's not genie wishes. So, Tongart, XigXag are advocating, let's talk to Wenha, let's break this curse, let's free the all dragons of Wyrmloth, just so that we can just be a draconic plane, unbound by this evil curse that gives all of our gold in the end to someone else. Because you also, in previous things, sorry to always go back over this stuff, you've kind of deduced that the Shadow Master gets all the gold. That is kind of all the gold that is kind of either taken out of here by dragons who leave, or that is kept here by dragons who choose grace. That all belongs to the Shadow. So, really, Iodor kind of gets it all in the end and just is super powerful.
Oh, that's all our greed is for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's not, you don't even get your greed in the end. Lord Buku and Elon were expressing a rather different perspective, which is, why don't we rebuild this world and accumulate wealth, and obviously not necessarily in the same way, and there'd be great tension between those two, but why don't we be the only dragons here who aren't affected by that curse, and we can be greedy with our brains rather than with our souls, we can control our greed and use it to our interest rather than be dragged around by these things. It's this would make us a more powerful dragons.
We'd be the only ones that would never have to choose grace or
exactly
or gate.
Yeah,
you'd be the oldest, strongest dragons. We just have to wait probably a millennia for that to happen.
Indeed.
But then just naturally we'd be in that position.
I love this idea.
So that's an option as well. It did seem, I now read, I didn't think we got to this. It seemed, however, that in the end, Elon and Lord Buku were kind of okay, well, I guess there's no harm in communicating with Wenha. And Elon even said, I know that I'll be able to change everyone's minds in the end because I'm a really good negotiator. So that's where we left. Shishu, if you here as we begin, if you would like to add your voice to one side or the other in that discussion, you are very much welcome to. Otherwise, we can just.
What did my brother say he wanted to do?
He said he wanted to just accumulate wealth and just use every advantage that we have and just keep innovating and changing the paradigm and just, getting rid of people who never should have been, who were stupid and never should have been here in the first place. We don't want them on X, which is what I'm going to call Wyrmloth.
All the documentation, of course, still say Wyrmloth.
Yeah. Well, and everyone will say X, formerly Wyrmloth, whenever talking about it.
Or they'll be like Wyrmloth or X or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
And be very dismissive about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Elon may
Maybe
be onto something. That would be a great way for everyone to stop caring about this plane.
That is a good point. So, in any...
Hey, but then how is that different than Buku's idea?
Well, it's not super different from Buku's. I think the only major difference point, which was a thing, is that Buku is not necessarily opposed to dealing with Sparkminster with the blue spell. I think Elon did feel the blue spell insulted you guys, so therefore, who cares? We'll just do our own thing. But also the tension, I should be honest that as things went on, they were more on the same side. The tension between them was almost exclusively interpersonal, relating to who said what when whose parents were found dead and or meditating.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just kind of learned to tune that out.
Oh, God.
So hard to be a part of this group. So hard.
Yeah.
We're both going to have to figure out, when you're saying the same thing, you're going to have to figure out how to get along.
Yeah, I would view that if we're all saying the same thing, that means we're sort of all on the same page. Which is usually a good thing. Just seems that we're sort of arguing over the font, honestly.
Well, I mean, the big argument, I felt like we have a fairly philosophical question ahead of us, which is actually fairly important. Of what is our purpose in trying to free Wyrmloth of this curse? Is it to yet again accumulate? We all know that I have a penchant for power. We know that Elon has a penchant for money. We all have our own little things that we wish to go for. Is that our goal, or are we actually trying to be a little, as a word I haven't used very often, altruistic in our approach here, and free the plane for itself?
But then we would be worshipped like heroes if we did that, right?
I love it.
That's
And would have so many followers.
I guess what's interesting here, right, is that we all want to do the same thing, but we all want to do it for maybe different reasons. But the thing is that once we do the thing, it doesn't really matter what the reasons are, because every one of you can sort of pursue that. If you want power, Buku, you're one of the people who saved this place. You can have all the power you want. The Bukus can, the Batiros can have as much wealth as they want, I'm sure. Right?
But aren't we already the people who saved this place? Doesn't everyone know that my crazy idea
There's another level of save now.
Oh, I see. Well, I just feel like I could never stop finding ways to save this place, is kind of all I'm saying. I could never stop coming up with new ways to save things. I could even save the concept of saving.
Sure.
I could spend this place rather than save it.
I just want to have, I want to be the one on Wyrmloth that I want this place to be set up where I have so many followers, and that if anybody gets close to me in followers, they get less followers automatically. So I'm always have the most followers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Like a program, it's programmed or something. I don't know.
Sheesh, we can do that. That's easy. We can do that. That's easy. That's trivial.
But I feel like I would love to save the plane. I mean, it just would be great to be the one with the most followers. That's all. If we could do it so that people could see us saving it.
Sure.
You do it so people could see us saving it. Well, we do have.
They would know, right? They would know that we did it and I was there.
Yeah,
we have 57 wishes. Perhaps we can arrange something. Sure.
I mean,
well,
I will
also,
say
it
that
does appear that
Shishu.
everyone already knows that we did this before already.
Well, that was Shishu's doing.
Right.
Shishu spread the information of how you guys say the thing already. So, presumably, were you to do the next, Shishu could also spread that word.
Right.
And then use
So,
that
yeah,
power
I
to
mean,
tear down
right.
anyone who gets close to her and follow her count.
So, I think the question before us is not. I mean, I guess we just have to decide on the next step, right? Which seems to be either we go directly to Wenha. Buku,
Ishra,
you can check
or
in
whatever.
with Wenha. Or we go talk to the council and see and make sure they don't send in like an army after us or something. I don't think they care about us personally. I don't think they think we can
do.
pull off what we're trying to do.
How many wishes do they have? None.
Fulbright might have a couple here or there, but yeah. But they're not like yours. They're like the spell wish. They're not like a wish.
I'm torn about the council because I feel like they have resources, and if we are persuasive in our arguments, we could get them from them. But I also feel
We
like
just
our
wanna
initial meeting went so poorly, it was so badly executed and planned that I don't know that we'll get anything positive out of that. In fact, I'm more concerned that we might create some negative. They might impose some restrictions upon us that we just have no intention of following. And you know, as my crazy cousin Adolfo used to say, you know, it's better to ask forgiveness than it's better to do what you wish and ask forgiveness after than ask permission first and not be allowed to do so. You know,
Interesting
no need to have your wings clipped early, as they say. You know.
Yes, that's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. And you know, if things go as badly as they went the first time, well, look, we just won a war. I don't want to become a war criminal. You know.
Yeah. Yep. True.
I don't want to be put in some sort of cell.
I mean, the thing that gets me, I guess, is that no one here actually wants us to change the plane, and not changing anything would benefit us the most.
On the short term, but not on the long term.
I guess
no. In the long term, like I see no downsides to not changing anything.
Right. I guess, Buku. I understand I understand this is hard for you because yeah, you're right. You're right that if we like no one here wants this curse lifted off of them because they don't think they have a curse.
Right.
It's just the way that things have always been. And you're right. If we are as the only ones who are not cursed and we who can freely make our decisions, and also even after the sort of moratorium is lifted, come and go as we please, right? Then we are then you know that benefits us more than anything, right? And if we go out there and do what we're trying to do, we'll probably attract the attention of an incredibly powerful being whose plans we're trying to upset and cut off his source of power, right?
Yep.
And it's unclear to me if the wealth we accumulate here will still belong to him, given that we're not part of that curse anymore, but we would still be accumulating it here. So that's unclear. But during our time of life, we'd live well. But what it comes down to, Buku, is that I want to go out there and do this thing because it's the right thing to do. And I still think at the end of it, we'll end up, you know, as rich and powerful as any of you want. But everyone else around us will have the same choices that we've been gifted.
You had me like I was with you.
Yeah, I know.
And then you said because the right thing to that part I'm not understanding. Like there's no like you don't have any. There's no reasons behind it. There's no analytical properties. There's no tangible benefits. Just like this feeling of it's the right thing to do.
That's correct.
This is the part like a
does
lot of this is just
everyone know
confusion
you
on
did
my
the
part.
right thing? Like everyone knows you did the right thing.
I
so
feel
it's
like
the
if you
right
want
thing.
if you want to tell everyone
Right.
if you want to tell everyone you can tell everyone about it. You did that before. You would spread the word of our deeds if you so want. Like I said before, you know, my belief has been in the furtive breath, and the furtive breath is always about dragons get to make a choice and no one judges them for that choice, right? And what I've learned is that no one ever had a choice. And I would like them to actually have that choice. And that said, that belief carries through here. I want to go do this thing. That's my choice. I have that freedom now. Whatever your choices are, there is no judgment there. Every dragon chooses their own path.
But like, so the optics on that are good?
I imagine the optics would be stupendous, Shishu. Like,
Great, let's do it.
like 2020.
Clear. Clear optics.
But I understand,
Optics,
Buku, if you want to stay
cancers.
here and amass power and wealth, I mean, that is a thing that dragons do. And I would not blame you nor judge you for that.
No,
But
I
to think, just if I may throw another variable here for you.
Sure.
You grew up here.
Yes.
All of the wealth and power that we have accumulated that got us to this point, none of it came from here. Think about what else you could find out there, if that's what you're concerned with.
True.
Yeah, but like Books and I, because like we're on the same side now. Like he's got that amulet, so like we can just do that whether or not it's like he can just go do that whenever he needs to.
That's also fair. Again,
That's a
you
really
don't-
good point.
Yeah.
Really
No, I
good
make good points. I'm just saying like I know that Books is gonna like take me to various places I need to go, so it's like he can also just go to all places he's got to go to, just to like really just kind of innovate and do stuff. And I'll show him the ropes on how to like really do interesting things.
I'm not your like personal
Of
carriage
course
service.
not. I'm gonna ask
It
you
really
guys-
gets me that I'm going to have to take you all to this other plane immediately after that too. Hate when he does this to me every time.
I'll mention, I think you guys have been here for a while, and honestly, Quadrazix would have known. I will tell you the other members of the council, because I realized I don't know why this took me so long to look at this and realize this. One of them will be known. Well, I might have a luck roll to see if you know the person in person. The other members are Fulbright Sparkminster, who is, of course, the blue spell, a troubling individual. Next up is the green Tia Talonquill. You've probably heard of Talonquill's Shishu as she's like a novelist. She tells she's like a romance novelist, but a very powerful power broker. She tends to like do character assassinations of people through romance novels. That's her vibe.
She's doxing through romance
She
novels.
does, and she is. No roles are required to know that she must be an evil individual, and she is evil. There is also Sand Scorcher the Unseen. This is a dragon. It is unlikely any of you even heard of. Or seen. This is a dragon. This is a from what reports you've gotten. When Sand Scorcher the Unseen has been seen, Sand Scorcher the Unseen has been has a breath weapon as good as Elon's. Is a serious red dragon who from the desert of Doe, who is just like I will turn the sand to glass if I so choose, kind of dragon. The next one is another green Tia. Her name is Anne with the Zealous Breath. The names get kind of. I had a lot of fun.
That's her name, Anne with the Zealous Breath.
Anne with the Zealous Breath is her name.
It's like, was it Judy with the hair?
Yeah, Becky with the good hair.
I can't sit there.
Yeah, and she's a fire fang, so she's someone you guys might that's kind of like a pretty like lawless kind of crazy place. So you're kind of maybe just generally familiar with her as by reputation. The last name, however, is one that one of you regionally will be very, very familiar with. When this is reported that the last member of this council is a white dragon, or no, sorry, is a quicksilver dragon.
Ooh.
Named XigXag. From the Plains of Solace. Tongart, you are familiar with XigXag as being one of basically a criminal mastermind.
Yeah, tough to read.
Who is kind of notorious in the Plains of Solace for like launching kind of is mainly based up in Saltwatch, which is kind of the more, like the port city at the top. There is a map you can download from our Discord if you care to. And doesn't really do stuff in Heart of Solace, which I think we said is closer to like whatever ranch you lived would probably have been, within 100 miles of Heart of Solace, which is like the main sort of thing. But XigXag is someone who has like murders other dragons, was a criminal sort of dragon. Driven sort of not only by greed, but by sort of like, lusts for power and vaguely, shall we say, kind of like psychotic, sadistic needs for sort of violence. And kind of think of like, to extend the idea of both of if we're saying that the Plains of Solace are like Kansas, then this is like the Kansas City mob, who are actually like very frightening. Right. So, that kind of XigXag is this sort of figure. And Tongart, why don't you give me a luck roll? Let's see if you've ever had the misfortune of crossing paths with XigXag. It would be very unlikely you have, but...
Well, double trinket, double weapon.
Double
Let's
trinket,
go with
double
trinket.
Weapon. Trinket. Do you want to have crossed paths with this person?
Sure.
You will say that once when you went to Saltwatch, like, he was pointed out to you by a cousin, and you did see this he kind of, landed with Quicksilver, and the Quicksilver dragons, it's interesting, their scales almost seem liquidy. They're kind of always like, sort of, but he kind of like walked past and sort of like, the dawn coming down the street, and kind of, he did look at you and kind of just snorted, in a mean way. And it was a genuinely frightening experience, because it was probably the first time you ever were near a dragon who had murdered, and yet, at the time he was still walking around free due to technicalities. So the fact that XigXag is on this council, is
well, Buku. As far as the council goes, here now, no one. I know one member on it besides our illustrious contact, XigXag, from my neck of the woods, so to speak. They're plains and not really woods, but you get the drift.
Driftwood. Nice.
That is a criminal through and through. A plotter, a planner, a stealer, a romancer at times. But
Council
like
sounds
already.
like it needs to be revamped.
But what I'm saying is that, one, the council is not going to take... If he is on this council, and based off of how the reaction we got from the blue spell, they are not interested in any altruism, any honorable natures, which I fully understand and expected. But if you and Elan and your sort of plans for power and wealth, that is something that would speak directly to their heart. If you were to play that angle, and use some of your more, forgive me for prescribing a metal that is not of your own, but a silver tongue as yourself, you might be able to play them like a fiddle, should you so wish.
We've always referred to it as a golden tongue in Bazankin, but
I like that actually, because I'm cool. Yeah.
Well, nothing shines quite like gold of Bazankin. Look, I'm not.
Sorry, I feel like a lot would have a carbon fiber tongue. Sorry.
Actually, now that I think about, well, I like that it's a gold tongue because I'm a gold dragon. But yeah, now that I think about it, it would probably be like the best tongue would be a crypto tongue because
Tongue coin.
tongue coin because you're Oh wait, you guys hate tongues. I just remembered.
But in any case, so I think that there is more of an option there, should you so wish. But that said, that person, a lot of the people on this council, I mean, I know how familiar Lagak is with the others. Perhaps she can shed a little more light on us.
Great point. I should have been the one saying all of this from the beginning, yes, because I know all these figures. Excel Mercurial is a name I've certainly heard. I know more of, I'm really the person who should say this. I would say of that group, that Talonquill, Fulbright Sparkminster, and Excel Mercurial, I would say, are certainly dragons of a more
Fishy kind.
evil persuasion, perhaps.
That is the word I was looking for, but it felt a little judgmental.
Yes, no, I think in this case it's fine. Anne with a zealous breath is not so... I'll phrase it like this. Anne with a zealous breath comes of Firefang, so in Firefang you must make do with what you do. I think in most circumstances, Anne with a zealous breath would be someone who is, advocating for goodness and light and friendship and comity, but also in a war situation would be very quick to team up with pirates and, warriors and criminals when necessary. And is a good person who can work with such people for extended periods of time as she has for many years. The one I have the least information on is, of course, Sand Scorcher the Unseen,
Who's his unseen?
Yes.
Makes sense.
So, from what little I know of Sand Scorcher, he's reclusive and violent. I don't believe he probably wishes to win this war so he can go back into the desert, to be unseen once again. Perhaps they shall have to change his name to Sandscorcher the Seldom Seen, if he has been seen on a council. Or maybe he sits in a cloud of smoke so no one can really see him.
If we remove the curse, will everybody be a lot less evil?
No, I don't think they will be. I think they'll be, but they won't be compelled to greed, good or evil. They can be evil in their own special ways, or good in their own special ways. If you did this thing.
That's good.
Perhaps. I think then what we should do is travel to Wenha, ask our questions, get our answers. The only thing I would ask of the group is that we refrain from making any commitments or decisions until after we've had a chance to talk amongst each other first. I feel that regardless of what choices we make, it will have vast ramifications back here on Wyrmloth. And for our future, whether it be our followers, our shoe collections, or the good of the realm, as Tangard would like to, vouch for, whatever it happens to be, we'll be making sure that we plan the reaction in Wyrmloth will be very helpful for us. And so that might be recruiting specific allies or foregoing others, but we should, get that part settled before we take any actions when we head there.
I agree.
And
For terms.
that seems reasonable. Ever since we underwent our transformation, I feel less compelled to say yes to every offer of any sort of treasure given to us, regardless of who it comes from.
That reminds me, if we were gonna go, maybe we could leave all this stuff here. It's safe between my father. He's not interested in this kind of treasure. Only brains.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
I suppose any of the mundane stuff that we don't need.
Yeah, you can definitely leave your can.
I'm not leaving this stuffed dog.
You can leave your gold and such if you wanted to, and just take whatever magic items you're keeping on you for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that is absolutely an option. Now let's talk a little about the whole Wenha side of things. Yeah, go ahead, Lord Buku.
Don't worry, Franklin. You'll be coming with us too.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
Fuck you forever. I don't want to come with you. What I want is to strangle you in your sleep.
We can't
Adorable.
leave. Yeah, we can't leave you behind, Big Frank.
Please,
You're keeper of the team.
Look at him, he's
please
so
leave me.
adorable.
Leave me behind. I hate every single one of you. God,
The
I wish
most
one of you could
important member of
understand
this
me.
team,
And
Franklin.
And Elon, who understands everything Franklin says, will be like, it's so weird what this thing says. Like it's like somebody really like taught it language wrong. It's like the stuff it says is so crazy.
Oh, I hate you the most. I hate you the most, except I hate Lord Buku the
Language
most.
wrong.
I hate all of you the fucking
Oh
most.
my
I want you
God.
all to die. Oh, God. I can get your wings clipped. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Franklin.
You want some? Hey, Franklin. I mean, you have turned down almost every. You want some brains? We got lots of brains here.
I wouldn't
brain
touch
sandwich?
those. I wouldn't touch those.
Well, I just like I'll be honest. I'm not gonna finish my brain sandwich. So Franklin wants it. It's a little still full from the trip over.
Your family eats brains in hell.
He's just so cute. He's the cutest little thing.
Family eats.
You know what
brains
this
and
is? This is every pet owner that has just a dog that is just out, like a little tiny dog that's just out of their mind and uncontrollable and bites every person that
Chihuahua.
comes near it. And they're just like, oh, aren't they just the cutest thing? Oh, he likes you.
I don't fucking like these guys. I wish they were dead. They should die. I want to watch their hearts die. I want to watch the lights die from their eyes, and then I want to eat their eyes. I hate this
It means he likes you.
You're so wrong about what I like. You don't understand anything. But also, don't go away. I don't like it when you're away. It makes me nervous.
Oh, Franklin. Poor Franklin. Well. I gotta remember your family eats brains in hell. That's
Good.
my exorcist riff. Okay. Anyway,
Go,
so
let's
let's
go change planes.
so let's so as a reminder of all the differences and things here and available things. Now, granted, you can change planes very trivially whenever you want to because of your amulet. You have something that can take you directly to Mondevue. We will again point out that Mondevue is a material plane. It is not the sort of, it is not like the outer plane heavenly realm in which Wenha actually lives.
Right.
You can, however, commune with Wenha using your ring once per day from anywhere.
Oh yeah, man. Perhaps do you want to just ask her
But isn't
before we invite
Mandeville
ourselves
like the
over?
favorite plane of Van
Yes,
Halen?
Mondevue is definitely a place where there's like a strong connection to her. I don't really want to advocate for you guys going to Mondevue. I'm ready for you to whenever the time comes. I'm just saying, just reminder, going to Mondevue, you'll be like, where's Wenha? Oh, right, she's a god. Oh, we could have talked to her through this ring. I'm telling you the information you'd know. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna ask you like a real meta out of stream knowledge question here. Mondevue didn't have the Vorpal Wars, right?
Mondevue is not the world that had the Vorpal Wars.
Okay.
no.
Still
That
content
was-
to
that was-
just bamf in on Mondevue unannounced.
That was
if we need to.
Yeah, that was Euclidea
Okay.
had the Vorpal Wars.
But if we talk through a ring, it's not the same as being there in person.
Very true.
That's true. You know, it's always harder, no matter how great the fidelity of connection is through the signal. It's not the same as being physically in a room with people, you know?
Would you guys, would you all like me to, do you want to write down some questions and I can go to sleep for take a quick power nap and ask us some questions?
Well, I guess, yeah, we have been kind of going nonstop since we got here. We could all probably do with a
A rest?
rest.
Oh. Wait, did XigXag have an English accent or not?
I don't remember.
I know it was sort of scary like this, but was it?
I don't remember. Well,
Kind of
I
weird.
just heard
Something
brains and tentacles the whole time, so I was really.
we're gonna go with like an agnostic British accent there.
Great.
Like mid-Atlantic kind of somewhere in the thing.
Perfect.
But XigXag will say,
Oh, what is this? you are going to commune with an entity, only one of you can do so.
Yes, I have.
Is it a divine communication?
Yes.
You are a cleric of this entity?
No.
Oh, then perhaps there is an opportunity. I have a device I want you to try out. And perhaps this would allow you all to experience communion together.
Goes back and brings out a bunch of weird metal headbands and a lot of, tubes and things and starts plugging stuff together. XigXag will explain that this is some kind of mind-linking device where if you're cool with XigXag putting something that's going to read your brain waves and really get into your brains, that Lord Buku, if you have a communion with a being from another realm, all of you could have it as well. You could all go in there.
Oh.
Oh, sounds good.
I have not. Buku's gonna constantly be looking at XigXag for some help here, but just I'm not particularly comfortable with this idea. This doesn't sound.
It's fine. It's fine. All of QQ's inventions work great. You don't have to worry about a thing.
There have only been 3 or 4 horrible accidents.
Yeah.
But this one I'm not too worried about.
I just want to look. I just want the cute one. There's a cute one over there. I want to wear that one.
Oh, let me ground some wires in that, and then sure.
Massive explosion of sparks.
When you say horrible, do you mean fatal?
I'm shaking my head, looking at QQ.
With a little shrug.
Well,
what is that?
What is that? That was an answer in no direction.
Come on, guys. You have nothing to worry about. I mean, we survived worse than this. That's not very reassuring.
Sorry, something worse than that?
Never mind. It will be all fine. Don't worry about it.
Let me assure you all.
Sound fine.
The chance that I swap any of your brain patterns so that you switch bodies like something from a science fiction scroll is minimal.
That's a possibility.
Sophia checked and said it is British adjacent. Just so you know.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Is what I'm doing right now sound kind of like it?
It feels familiar.
All right.
Very good.
I think he was a little less gravelly.
Oh, understood then. Very well. Sorry, I get gravelly when I'm excited about things with brains.
No, don't like any of this.
Don't worry.
Oh, come on, Buku. Be brave.
Don't come on, Buku me. You put this thing in your brain.
Not in your brain, just around your forehead.
Oh, okay. Just around the forehead, not in the brain.
Mine has a place for my ears.
Begins to sort of basically anyone who's willing. It seems like XigXag and Shishu are volunteering. So
All about it.
Their brain, like XigXag will very happily affix brain things and then start tightening various screws and placing little weird diodes and things. And since you guys have scales and kind of, stuff is about, you do notice that XigXag then very carefully pulls out like this one, kind of like dagger length, so to you it's a shorter thing. Just this like dagger length sort of needle like thing which she's sticking into the back of the skull and just like between some scales. Yes. So.
Oh, it's just like when I was little. Oh, so much fun.
Yes, XigXag, you remember this, of course.
Oh yeah.
Hey, XigXag, remember? This is the way you get ahead in life. Don't mind me.
I do.
Oh, you're taking me up
I do
there.
like this fella. Well, you know what? You've been totally trustworthy to us this whole time, sure. Although I guess it's all sort of a moot point if Buku doesn't want to do it, because we can all put the helmets on, but if we can't connect to Buku, then there's not real point. And let's be clear, I love you dearly, Alon. But unless I'm gonna hear what Wenha has to say, I really don't want to be in your head.
You know, maybe if yeah, actually, I guess I don't need to be in anyone's head. That's fine. Yeah, I'll sit out of this one actually.
But you'd also have to take your other one off, and
Yeah, I'm not gonna take this off. I have to stay here and listen to Franklin or something. So it's fine. I don't even want to go in actually. Yeah, I don't even want to go into Lord Buku's brain. It's like it's not really a place for me. But you guys have fun. I'm sure it'll be a nice thing for you. I have some meditating to do anyway.
Hey, what's happening?
Just for player
Elon
absence
doesn't
reasons, Elon's not going into your brain if you guys do this.
Oh, okay. 'Cause it's not here. Understood.
Yeah.
well, he
We're
also
not
has
going
It made
into
me
his
even more
brain. Nobody's
uncomfortable when
going into
Alon
his
said
brain.
no. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What else? What's
We
going
are
on?
just sharing the connection. Don't
Yeah.
scare him away.
Ugh.
So basically, Tongard, you will let a thing be affixed to your brain.
If Buku's gonna do it, I'll do it. You know.
So he'll basically Kodrazix will be like,
Well, let me put one on, just in case. Oh, wait. Hold on.
and he picks up like a small leather carrying capsule.
This is my just in case. It's where I keep the remains of Justin.
Wait, what?
Don't
Your
worry.
iPad?
Justin?
Just a joke.
Justin, well, Justin was various bipeds I sort of sewed together for reasons.
Oh.
Well, parts of bipeds into one
disgusting.
better biped. Don't worry,
This is not getting better, my friend.
it didn't work great. He really didn't like fire. Anyway.
Yeah. But at this point, Kodrazix will then put one of these things around you, Tongart, with the wires and the needle and sticking into your skulls and diodes and tying stuff
Sorry, I
around.
just remember
We're
part of the
looking
skill
at
sticking in
Buku,
my
not
skull. That was
Buku.
different. I missed that part of the description.
Oh, I was saying it happened to XigXag and Shishu.
Yeah, I missed that part of the description. I didn't realize I was getting Matrix. But all right, here we are.
Actually, as he does that, though, he'll kind of go,
Oh no,
and he'll pull out like a slagged bit of metal. Say,
I'll need to use a better one for you. Heat resistance.
and soon he'll come back with a little hammer and a chisel. And
Are you sure this is something we want to do? He's chiseling into your head.
Well, I am made of obsidian.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure that will regenerate with it.
Are you
Admittedly,
sure this is
I'm
what we
having
want to do, guys?
admittedly, I'm having reservations.
Tongart, he chisels a little bit, and then you hear this like sound, and then suddenly from behind you he goes,
Can you hear an echo?
and you do weirdly hear there's like an echoey like something's.
Like from every direction at once.
Perfect.
Sticks a heat-resistant needle into yours, and wiggles it a bit.
Perfect.
Come on, Buku. All this trouble. We are just waiting for you.
So then just wires and stuff, and then
Conscious can say, perfect, yes. All of you lie down here. Yes, perfect. Perch there, sort of nest. And then, Buku,
Awesome.
are you ready?
Buku, I will say one thing, despite the fact that there's now just a tremendous echo in my head and a heat-resistant spike that I wasn't paying attention to beforehand. That one thing I can say about QQ here is, besides his impeccable comedic timing, is that he does seem to be a loving father. So I don't think he would actually put XigXag in any danger.
And I'll point out that
Yeah,
was like
I mean,
three
I
things.
grew up. We were doing stuff like this all the time. I'm still here, right?
Mhm, yes. And I have to say,
Oh,
this
yeah.
ZigZag is
No
much better
impact
than any of the
whatsoever
early
on our
ones I had,
personality.
too.
And this
Well, I'd
zigzag is
say-
yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't say no impact. I said not a lot of danger.
Not your best argument you've ever made.
And this
Right.
zigzag, I
I'm aware.
promise, this is the best of all the zigzags I've tried this with. This one's been the best. Yeah. It's the
Okay,
only one
I'm
who.
immediately,
Whoa, whoa,
I'm
whoa,
immediately
whoa.
feeling, I'm
Oh,
immediately
you're
feeling
so
a lot.
funny, Dad.
I'm immediately feeling a lot less good about this.
That's a joke. Calm down.
Of all the zigzags,
Yes. No, there's only
He's
one
just
zigzag.
joking.
The others had other names before they were eaten. Okay, so so Lord Buku.
fine.
Ready?
Yes. Good
All
Lord
right.
knows I'm not.
Kodrazix
fair,
will sort of put a thing around your head. Now,
To be fair, ZigZag, as he's doing this, I'll just say, to be fair, ZigZag, this probably can't be any worse than being ripped apart in 7 dimensions and put back together, right?
You ripped apart in several dimensions and put back together? That sounds so fun.
It wasn't.
Sure.
I'm
Well,
a bit
what worth-
disappointed. You couldn't have made it 8? Get it? Like, as if that would matter. Okay. Here we go.
Lord Buku, your device is different than the others.
It was all matter.
Just slapping his knee with one of his face tentacles.
Oh,
He then comes over, Lord Buku, and your device is different. Your device does not have a needle that goes into your brain, but what it does is there's a component that goes into your kind of like ears. There's like little diodes that go in your ears, and then there's like a visor thing that's put on your eyes, and various like weird just like attachments and stuff. And Kachik says,
Okay. Perfect. Yes, this is great. So when I flip this switch, Lord Buku, you will activate your device. I'll flip the switch and they'll all be in your mind. Together. So, are you ready?
I've never been more ready.
Perfect.
sure.
Then begin. Oh, my breath! Wait, don't begin! Oh, no! Hold on! Oh dear!
and suddenly makes a bunch of adjustments, and unplugs various things. And says,
Oh, that would have been bad. Okay, now we're totally ready.
I just look at Buku in the middle of this. You're like,
Oh,
Buku
Phil,
closes his eyes
you're
and tries
just
to go to
making
sleep.
it worse.
I have to go to sleep though. How do I do that?
Oh,
Is it more comfortable?
Ah.
Apparatus or...
rockabye dragon in the airy.
Stop. I'll figure it out. I'll just...
Tomorrow for breakfast you'll eat a fairy.
Oh, God. It gets worse. I'll try and go to sleep.
okay, activate the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, you sort of drift off, and fortunately, the ring has a soporific effect, even when you have like diodes and like stuff on your eyes. And as that happens, XigXag flips the switch. XigXag, Shishu, and Tonkart, you all feel like an electric charge running through your bodies. And as your visions all sort of like reduce to like a point, all that you hear is XigXag like laughing maniacally, because that's what you have to do when operating machinery like this, like. And you suddenly all find yourselves floating downwards. Lord Buku, you're there, but you notice that XigXag, Shishu, and Tonkart are there. You're all floating downwards through what looks like the Kirby's Dreamland level of the level of Super Smash Brothers with like the fountains and the space and all that stuff. It's like the dream fountain. Anyway, there's these fountains, these beautiful like waterfalls rolling down as you drift downwards, and soon you find yourself sort of on a platform. Below you, everything is like rainbow reflective gems. It's all iridescent and beautiful, but you're kind of standing on nothing, and yet on a very firm, solid area, and there's a large wishing well nearby. And after a few moments, the stars become brighter all around you, and then a voice sort of speaks, and the stars seem to like all sort of pulse with the sounds that come from this, and there's this one brighter sort of spot of energy over this wishing well. As a voice that you and only you have heard before, Lord Buku, says, "Oh my, look at this. You've come to visit me again, Lord Buku Bazan, and you've somehow brought friends into your communion. That is most impressive. Welcome, everyone. I am Wenha, goddess of wishes. Welcome to this little peek at another facet of reality. What strong dragons you all are. And Lord Buku, I noticed that you are now a dragon and not a dragon person like you were the last time I saw you. So, It seems that you've escaped your predicament, which I'm very impressed with. Well done."
Thank you, Wenha.
Well, you're very welcome.
It's been quite an eventful time since we last met. I have brought with me through some insane contraption my compatriots. We are currently in the process of deciding.
Wait!
Yes.
Something is different about you beyond your shape. Each of you is a... Well, no, but... Well, this is so strange. How... You are dragons of Mondevue.
Yes.
Well... Oh, my! What magic did you use to make yourselves dragons of Mondevue? Because I know you were not, because I know all the dragons of Mondevue, and none are you. Cuckoo Cachoo.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Our essences were torn asunder and restitched into from fabric of your plane. Here we are.
Well.
Hello, mother.
Hi.
Well, hello to all of you.
I tried to curtsy.
Right,
Yes.
right. Pleasure to meet you, miss.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure
It's
to
an
meet all
honor.
of you, and a deeply confusing moment. How did this happen?
Yeah, I think we're all in that. In what respect? There's a lot that's happened.
Well, let's talk about the part where you're from Mondevue, because you're not from Mondevue.
Oh, I believe we are now.
That is true, because I can feel that you are, and each of you has a wish you have yet to wish. Oh, how very strange.
Yes.
An
We
archfey
had
did
we had a
it.
partner with them. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's it. That was it.
We had to partner with some powerful entities, and the opportunity presented itself to rid ourselves of the curse that you had explained to us previously.
Oh, I am so happy for all of you! And this sort of like, you're standing on these kind of like, it's like crystal cobblestones leading to this thing, but then the sky above you just turns into rainbow-colored fireworks. Wonderful! Oh, and suddenly that sort of like big thing of light at the top kind of like shimmers, and a tiny little goblin-like creature wearing a glowing white dress kind of just comes down, and then she keeps saying, "Wonderful, wonderful! Oh, congratulations! So you freed yourself from the curse, and now you're of Mondevue.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I've decided to take on my primary avatar to speak with you."
That's very courteous.
Oh, well, yes,
Thank you.
I'm typically having a lot of conversations all at once, being a deity and all, but I decided to really focus on this one because, what the hell, man? Well, this
know,
is
I met a-
interesting.
I met a blue worm that had a similar reaction to things I told her.
Really? Just
Yeah.
unbridled joy and excitement?
No, more, but maybe just similar phraseology.
Oh. What a wonderful story. So anyway, you all have gained a wish and changed your nature, and you've escaped from that place. I'm so glad that you didn't try to use wishes to escape from it. Although, oh no, you did use a wish, didn't you? Oh, that was what that wish was. Oh, that's so clever. Clever. A little dark because you trapped people there, but I suppose they'd attacked you first, so I understand the turnabout and fair play of it all. Oh, very clever indeed.
Thank you.
Well,
Well, congratulations.
Also, to be fair, I believe they are dragon hunters, right? And we gave them a very powerful dragon to hunt. So
Oh, yes. Even so, I'm sure they're all dead now. Or
are
maybe
they all
not.
dead?
Did you say they're all dead now?
No, she said, I bet they're all dead now, but
I
Elon had
think
told
we're-
you that two of the, well, now one of them's alive, having become the new Dreadlord. You do know that. Well, wonderful.
We came here in hopes that you might we have some questions about next steps and these wishes and what we should do with them, and
Well, this is
how to help fix our world.
hence
so
me
we
being
thought we
here
could-
in person, because I have questions too, and this is a big deal. Wow. Well, ask one of your questions. Oh dear.
Master Lasso, XigXag, Pishu,
Yeah.
would you
That's,
have any questions you care to?
yeah, we were kind of wondering if we can undo that original wish that put a curse on Wyrmloth.
Good
Is there any way?
question.
Oh, well, So, that is what we would call a very big deal. It is certainly possible.
TM.
Hmm?
Nothing.
No,
Very big deal, TM.
Oh, no, not that kind of deal. There's no trademark required. Not there. But the problem is, though you are very impressive dragons with a great deal of power and will, none of you are as strong as the dragon who did that wish, and that wish has grown in power because of everything it changed and everything that's happened since it was cast. Do you understand?
Mm.
The wish has only grown stronger and more calcified in place over time, strengthening its roots, spreading throughout the multiverse. Yes?
Yes.
So, in other words, none of you are powerful enough to reverse that wish. But were you powerful enough, you certainly could.
And
How do we get powerful enough?
Yeah. I love power.
Oh,
Yeah.
a very interesting question. Well, you can't wish to be powerful enough, because then I could only make you as powerful as that wish was. I suppose if you used a lot of wishes to make one person powerful enough, but you'd need many, many, many wishes, sort of like a wish railgun. You know, just wish, 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 power, 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 power. Oh, now I'm as strong as Iodor, the shadow of the soul, and then we'll undo all the bad things. But then that person would be very powerful, but they'd be using their one wish on something very noble. So then, afterwards, that they'd have a lot of power, they wouldn't have changed the world to suit their own image, and that would probably balance out fine. Oh, how interesting.
But could we be not one person, but all of us together? Like it's like we could be the Dragon Power Rangers. You know, we have the power together, but not separately.
Oh, well, yes, but you would all need to be much more powerful in order to do that. What I'm saying is that you would need hundreds of wishes.
hundreds of wishes. you
Yes, if you gathered hundreds of people and had them all pledge their wish to this purpose, to wish one of you strong enough to make the final wish, then that would go through. The four of you on your own, using your wish, could do a rather powerful wish, but you'd all need to become much more powerful than you are now in order to cancel out what Iodor has done.
Okay.
Oh,
Now-
how interesting! Oh, this might be the most interesting thing that's happened in a very long time. Oh, I love interesting things.
As another
And ice
possible.
cream.
Well, who doesn't love ice cream?
Yes. Well, some people do.
No.
I have a cousin
Ow.
who hates it, actually, but never mind. Yes.
As another option, if we were not to perform this ourselves, but to get a being as powerful as you are
Oh.
to perform it for us, is there a place where we go to find such a being? Because I know that you only work based off of wishes.
Oh.
Are there any other deific beings that might be a little more malleable in their
Well, now
their
that
power
is very
requirements?
interesting. Well, the deity might not be able to do anything about it, because that would have to be a deity who was sort of opposed to mine own power, and that would sort of become a thing. What you would want would be the strongest person on Wishworld who's yet to cast a wish. That's what you'd be seeking.
I see.
You would be looking for someone on Wishworld. Someone who has accumulated a great deal, seen a great many things, has a great deal of experience. More experience than any other, and yet has not used their wish to do it.
Okay.
You'd have to venture to Wishworld and find such a soul. But I will warn you, because I am interested in this working out, you cannot go to Wishworld looking the way you do.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, because dragons are personae non grata there.
Oh.
Yes.
Or draconi non grata. You understand? Well, dragons have caused so much trouble out in places that in most worlds, for unknown dragons showing up, even if it was then established they had wishes, there would be a lot of questions. You would not be able to travel freely. You might be destroyed by powerful mages and such, or at least attacked. And nobody would want that.
What should we be?
Well, are any of you strong enough to shape change yet?
Only when I eat
smoke
too much
black
ice
man.
cream.
How dare you? No, that's not what I mean at all. I mean, can you... I know that last time I saw you, Lord Bukubazan, you were a biped and hated it, but you might all want to practice that draconic art of turning into a little biped so as not to freak out a whole village. Maybe they don't do that as much in Wyrmloth, come to think of it. There's no need to.
Is there a trick to it?
No, everyone's pretty expectant of finding dragons in Wyrmloth.
Precisely. Well, in most other planes, dragons have learned to change themselves into a little thing. Some dragons don't even stop at bipeds. They change themselves into little birds to flit onto a finger, or they change themselves into a little worm inching on the ground, or into a funny little armadillo, so they still feel all armored. Armadillos are just armored rats, you know.
Would it be within our current power ability, let's say, to grant this to ourselves and our like to all of us, with one of us making a specific kind of request of you?
Oh yes, you could certainly wish. Well, She kind of pauses and kind of like, she like does this to each of you. Oh, impressive, yes. Ooh, yes, very hot inside of you, yes. Ooh, creepy, or ooh, stunning breath, I like that. Oh, very strong, very scary. Ooh, very hungry. Oh, shishu, very interesting. Well, good news. You are all what I would call pretty darn impressive. PDI. So, as such, it would still take a great deal of magic for you to sort of skip to shape-changing ability, but yes, I think one wish would allow you to all have... You wouldn't have the full mastery of it, but you could each choose one shape in which to travel. You could change in and out of it at will, just like a true dragon.
Are there any other personages we should be worried about on Wish World?
Oh, many! I can't go into all the details for you, of course.
So, I mean, are there any other groups that they're prejudiced against that we should not take the form of?
Oh.
That's a great question.
What a wonderful question. Well, no, Wish World is a kind of a cool enough place. There are some
Not from
areas.
where I'm standing. But...
There are some... Well, oh, you've never been to Wish World? You'll love it. It's delightful. So... I'm actually have to look at my notes on Wish World to see if there are any things like that. Give me... Talk about something funny, everyone. Give me 30 seconds.
Hilarity.
So much to think about.
Well, I remembered... I remember what I was going to tell Philip earlier, and I'll just tell you guys. There is a world competition of Excel, and apparently it is thrilling.
KJ texted me about this. The spreadsheet competition.
Yeah.
My goodness, that's
Oh
scary.
God, why?
Why exactly?
Excel's amazing.
How are they?
It's
What's the
a
competition?
joy to get into.
Cool. Cool. So you arrive. You have a blank spreadsheet. Great. Here's the task before you. This country has had 10 elections. You need to tabulate the votes for this. Although, so there's a basic calculation, but then also there's all these things that happen. And it gets progressively more difficult, more and more variables. So it's like, great. So if someone voted in consecutive elections, their vote counts higher. So how do you now figure that out and factor that in? Because you can't tabulate all this stuff just counting or creating some things. You have to create formula and then some people actually
send everyone a link to this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Post
I
in the
need
chat
to
right
see
now.
this.
I have there's a great channel called People Make Games that do documentaries and investigative journalism, and they did this as one of their more fun stories. So I'll post it for everyone in the chat right now.
My entire
awesome.
YouTube channel is based off an Excel spreadsheet. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
So like, this
Well,
is,
most of the world runs off of a spreadsheet of some kind.
Does.
That's
And you
fair.
can
All
actually,
the
Jed,
entire
that's great news for you because you can
process
actually
of
go
record.
to their website and you can like download some of the sample ones from previous ones and like run against like the clock against like world champions to see how you would do with it. Or if like you really want to get into it, you can like pay to download some of the harder ones and stuff like that. It's not crazy. I think it's like $10 to download one. But
Pretty good.
Guys, I had read one part of the Wishworld stuff thinking that you might go to Montefu today because I was just going to send you to one place. But I just read all the other stuff to make sure there's no... And so, in answer to your asking that, Wenha will say, oh no, in Wishworld, I mean, there are regions in which certain sort of political sects are opposed to others, of course. You wouldn't... Well, you wouldn't want to show up saying that you were from Glanor Lurin if you went to the Yov Divinity. Ha ha ha. Of course.
well, of course not.
I don't think there is much danger about saying
Yes,
anything like that.
but as far as the types of creatures, no. In fact, the Yov Divinity, they are opposed to all sort of... They are very... they're opposed to, like... their whole thing is that we should just embrace chaos and goodness and moving forward, and they sort of encourage people to sort of try to not be so hung up on species and just everyone have a good time. That's the whole thing.
Well, that seems nice and inclusive.
It is quite nice and inclusive. So whether it's the goblins in the south or the elves in the west, there are no bipedal forms. Even if you want to keep your scales, even if you wish to be draconic in nature, those will have no prejudice against them either. It is literally large dragons with big wings and long necks and scary breaths. That is what will put everyone up, on account of what so many dragons from your erstwhile home plane have done.
How about quadruple forms?
Oh, well, if you wanted to be a centaur, or a dog, or... Why can't I think of another thing with 4 legs? Spiders have 8! Spiders have 8! No, don't no one say anything, I want to get one.
Starts with a C.
I said centaurs already. Let's see here.
Kangaroo.
Oh, maybe I thought that was...
Like, do
maybe
they
I
have
thought that
2
was
legs?
I thought that was
4
a soft
legs, or
C. I
5
thought
legs
they
if you
were
count the tail?
sangaroos. That's a hard C in kangaroo. I thought it was a soft C. I thought they were sangaroo.
I love a
Isn't it a
kangaroo.
K?
I always
It
thought it was
is
a C.
okay, XigXag, you're right. Regardless of how it's spelled or pronounced. Yes, that is another... No, those have 2 legs, though, don't they? Because they go up, 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 up.
Well, what are the front things? Are those
Horses!
like the ants?
Oh, I love horses and unicorns. How did I forget them? Anyway,
How about lions? Lions?
and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Thank you. So yes, in any event, there are a great many options. And one of you could grant yourselves the power of shape-changing, which will prove beneficial to you in many, especially if you have any plans on... I see that little amulet on your necklace there, Buku Bazan. Très chic. If you have any intention of using that, I strongly suggest you travel in not dragon form until maybe later if you fix everything, and then travel in dragon form, provided everyone gets the message that you fixed everything and accepts. Yes, but you understand what I'm saying, yes? Okay, my turn to ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said a friend. Who did this and altered you in this way?
Lord Bukbazan, why don't you take that one?
I'm not... there's no way I'll be mad.
Wait, before I answer, is there no way you'll be mad?
Well, let me honestly think about that. Well, if he did it... Oh, if he did it... I wouldn't be mad, I'd be surprised. Okay, well, the first person I'm thinking of who might make me a little mad, I would be resentful, because I asked him for some assistance at something, and he said he couldn't. So if he was able to do this, he was lying to me earlier. Who else? No. I won't be mad if it was them. I won't be mad if... I'll be confused if it was them, but not mad. If it was demons, demons I would... If it was them, I wouldn't be mad. No, I don't think there's anyone who would make me mad. Of course, I hope I don't wind up eating those words.
Right. Well, you know we all have a patron, yes?
Ooh. No. Who is it? A wealthy investor who likes your artwork?
Yep. That's actually not a bad description of it, I would say.
A warlock patron, do you mean?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, okay. So, well, there's so many kinds of patrons now, and they keep expanding. I don't know why there's both the undying and the undead, but yes, continue.
Right. It was an acquaintance of theirs. Do you know a Kog'Maw?
Kog'Maw managed to remake you in identical forms just from somewhere else?
Yes.
Mhm.
Ooh. Well, most impressive. I'm going to close the loophole that allowed you all to have your wishes so that she can't do that again to give an unlimited number of her own servants and pledges wishes, because that would become a problem. But I'm definitely not mad.
Okay. That went better than I was expecting it to. So that's great. I'm glad you're taking this so well.
Oh, I tend to take everything well. Even when Iador used his wish to alter Wyrmloth forever and usher in such horrible things, my response to that was, well, it's you know what? This is the kind of thing we should all be aware can happen. You know what I mean?
How did Iador get that wish?
Oh, Iador was born in Mondeville.
And that wish... What power level was that wish?
Well, Iador was the most powerful dragon in any plane. When he made his wish. He was born a millennium before he made the wish, you understand.
Okay.
And he grew and grew and grew and kept that wish growing and growing, and if I'm being honest, for hundreds of years, I forgot about him. And then he cast that wish, and I said, oh no, poor Wyrmloth, whatever will they do there? Well, this will be strange, but then it was so much worse than anyone expected.
Do you feel bad about it sometimes?
Well, I don't feel bad, because everyone gets a wish. And for the most part, when you go to Wishworld, you'll see, for the most part, they've used their wishes in very different ways. They've come with very different things. It's not like there's no strife and struggle and differences of opinion, but I understand that this will sound almost faint in praise, but Wishworld is unique among all material planes in this cluster and of other ones I've heard of, in that in Wishworld, things are kind of basically okay. Which really is impressive. But yes, so in answer to your question, Iador was of Wishworld, grew very powerful, clearly had a plan the whole time, had his eyes on Wyrmloth, did what he did to Wyrmloth, and now is somewhere. Can't find him. Although if you try to do what you're doing, I'm sure he'll come looking for you. And oh, what a fight that will be.
Oh.
You're sure? You're sure that...
Well, I suppose I'm not sure. I mean, maybe he died in the bathtub or something, but I find it unlikely.
That leads me to the bathtub is a deadly place. But that leads me to a question I was going to ask. What sort of magic would be necessary to maybe just cloak us from him, like a specific entity?
Oh well, that's you don't require. I mean, you could use a wish on that, and it would be pretty strong if one of you did it. But you can use more mundane magics to keep one. He's not a deity or anything, so yes, there are definitely ways around his divinations.
Okay. perhaps we can talk to Patero about that, about Alon about that. Well, I have one final question, but it's pretty mundane. So if anyone else has anything, I'm sort of had most of my queries answered already.
Oh, I have another question. So do you all, now that you no longer have the curse upon you, you all, to a dragon, want to end the curse for all dragons?
I do.
Ooh, you said I do, meaning some don't.
No. I think we're all in agreement that it's something we would like to accomplish.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Wow, then that...
Yeah, we found a that inclination of greed has completely disappeared.
Interesting.
So
I don't know. I'm still wishing for shoes. Hoping for shoes.
Yeah, some of us still have some things that we wish
Wanting
for
shoes.
and desire. Sure.
Desiring
Personalities
shoes.
are still there.
This is weird because you're
But maybe-
sleeping, but you did say you still wish for shoes, right? So you want some shoes right now? You use your wish?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay, understood.
No. I desire shoes.
Oh, another question. I'm sorry. No, wait, you get a question, then I have my last one. Unless you have more. Did anyone else have a question for me? I do have God business to attend to.
Sure. Just real quick. On Mondeville, Wish World, right?
Yes.
For no reason whatsoever, what is the preeminent social media platform?
Oh, well, a couple of very clever individuals in Wish World wish that there would never be a social media platform here. So there aren't any.
Is there any sort of mass entertainment?
Oh, yes, much. Great. A great deal. But it's all like traditional terrestrial over the air. Hold on, let me think about that. There's many ways to like watch stuff. I think they don't have gross social media, but I guess there would be a benign social media system of some kind, I suppose. Some kind of magical.
It's fine, there's not.
I was wondering why I felt so relaxed here.
Yes, of course. Oh, because you have no service here. Yes, that's probably why. Well, there definitely are means of there are a few different ones. The most populated continent in Wishworld is the Panopolis. Are any of you familiar with an Eperopolis? Okay, so there's terms for certain worlds that actually have these. There's something called an Ecumenopolis, which is where the entire planet is one city. The whole city stretches over every bit of the planet. It's just one city. It's massive. The sort of next step down from that is an Eperopolis, in which one whole continent is a city stretching all the way. And one of the continents in Mondeville, it is not the largest continent, but it is the most populated, is an Eperopolis. It's called Panopolis. And within that, there is what's called the Grand City Network. And it is a system of illusions and broadcasts, and people can sort of watch plays and bards and things and stories right in their homes and can request others. So that is probably the closest thing to what you're talking about. The Grand City Network.
Grand City Network, excellent. Oh, I mean, that's it for me. You've been very kind with your time, thank you.
All right, then I do have one last question. How, in my name, did you all get in here when it's only Lord Buku who can commune with me?
Oh, it's my dad. My dad did it. He's a very, very clever dragon.
Tell me more.
Well, he makes these contraptions, and he can like he's very interested in everything to do with brains. He's an expert in brain.
Ooh.
So and he so when I was growing up, we did a lot of these brain experiments.
Oh, that's not terrifying in the slightest.
Yeah, the participants were willing eventually.
They get real willing once the experiment's finished.
and they usually survive. So it's just my dad's doing.
So he made some sort of, is it a device, some sort of scientific device, or is
Yes,
it magic?
it's
exactly as terrifying as it
very
sounds like.
scientific.
Oh, so he's plugged all your brains together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised that worked, but I'm glad it did, because I loved meeting all of you. Shishu, do you have any questions?
I know I missed part of it, so out of game, apologies.
Oh, all good. You can ask something frivolous if you'd like.
What's that?
You can ask something, anything you want. Frivolous, serious. Goddess is happy to answer a question for you, because you've answered some of her questions, so, yeah.
I mean, are you allowed to tell us, like, the future?
Oh, I don't know the future. I'm a goddess of wishes, not of destiny.
How did you become a goddess?
Oh, well.
That's a good question.
Well, that is actually a very complicated question. I'm not sure I have time to explain all of it. Suffice it to say that when J, when K, etc., yes. At the time of my sort of entering in existence, I was something of. I didn't fit into the typical patterns of magic and power, the way that most things that are magical in their nature do. I was something of an outlier, something irregular, and I was able to attempt to sort of shape a new destiny for myself, and I didn't really intend to be a deity. I just thought it would be nice to give people nice things, and lo and behold, I became a deity. Because
how wonderful.
I wanted everyone to have a wish, and then a world was created where such a thing could happen. Sort of by combination of people also wanting it, and me focusing that for them, and my abominable nature, and various other things, so...
I mean, you sound like what my brother would call a true entrepreneur.
Oh, well, that implies a capitalist ideology, which is something I do not have at all. But the spirit of innovation, I like that, all right. Yes, an invention, that part's fine. Yes.
Another question for sort of no particular reason.
All right.
What would, say, like, a wish's ability be to undo death?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that same question.
Well, when people cast the spell to undo death, it often comes back in a dark way. The problem with a wish that is trying to undo death is that you
Any
are...
darker than they already were?
Well,
They were alive?
Well, yes, sometimes. You see, a lot of time when somebody casts a spell and says, I wish this person came back, and is kind of violating the typical spells of resurrection, which in of themselves is a little odd, the person will come back not completely right. That is because death is a very important sort of demarcation in existence in your life, so that once you've died, things change. It's a doorway. It's a new beginning. It's an ending and a beginning all at once. The point being, in order to wish someone back to life, using my wishes, that is one of the most common failed wishes. Not because the wish was cast wrong, but simply because the spirit that has departed has altered in some way and is not... You know, many of the spells, such as resurrection or things like this, they're bound on if the spirit is free and willing. But typically when you cast them, those spells are designed to act as a beacon. A spirit that no longer has a mind simply becomes willing because it doesn't know any... It has no more personalized desire in that same way. I'm not making any sense now, probably, but the point is that when a wish is cast using my magic, the spirit must truly wish to come back. Unless you are so powerful you can overpower its will.
not wishing for anybody to come back, but could you wish for the spirit of somebody who is dead to tell you that they love you and they're proud of you?
Oh dear.
I'm not saying that anybody is actually that
Yeah,
dead.
these are all hypotheticals, no reason being
I
asked.
understand.
Very, very hypothetical. I mean, since we're here and we're all chatting.
Shishu, I know little of you, but I can already say this.
You don't follow me yet?
Oh no, I don't have any social media, and yet I can tell that you are a unique and fascinating
I
dragon.
follow you.
Oh,
so.
well, thank you. I didn't know I was on there. I think that's a fake account impersonating me. But Shishu, but look at me. And it's funny because there's a tiny goblin and you're a giant dragon. But she's kind of just hovering up and she goes, but look at me, dear. What you would get out of hearing those words is not inconsiderable. It's something you need. And yet, what you could do with your wish is 1,000 times more than that. And I don't know who it is who may be deceased now, who you want to hear loves you and is proud of you, but I will tell you this. I, the goddess of wishes, for what little I know of what you've done, love you and am very proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And that goes for all of you.
But also,
Thank
you should
you.
follow me back.
Understood. I don't know if I know how that works, but fair enough. I will have one of my acolytes set it up and figure it out.
Oh, you should have someone manage your accounts.
Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. Social media. It was a very bad wish someone had. There was once a mage called Zalka.
Because Alon's dad, honestly.
And
but,
he-
no.
And he liked to say things. If you could have cast Facebook, you'd have cast Facebook. So, in any event, wonderful Shishu. But I would wish for whatever you'd like. I'm not sure that you will get what you need out of that wish, but also I think that you are a very strong, resourceful person, and you will ultimately find that what you need is something you can find yourself, and not from whoever is dead who didn't tell you that. Okay, well, anyway, this has been a good chunk of deity time, but I hope that you have some answers that are somewhat helpful to you. Good luck traveling to Wishworld, if you so do so. And if you travel anywhere else, good luck there. Lord Buku, it will be fun to chat with you again, and all of you if you're brought in through this brain contraption every time. What a fun idea.
Been nice to meet
curious.
you.
Real
Thank
quick
you
before
so
go,
much.
On Mount Mondaboo, is there a place where I could dip this ring and fill it back up with wishes? Is there like a wishing well of sorts there?
Well,
I'm just curious.
if you go to one of my temples and state your case, it is possible that some of the priests and acolytes and pledges there might find your cause worthy enough that they would refill your ring, but that is entirely at their discretion. And I will be very clear about this. You cannot say that you are acting in my name or on my orders, because they'll know you're not.
Right. Can we say that we have your support, though?
Well, you can say you have my support, but everyone has my support to do with what their wish with whatever they'd like.
Nope, perfect. That's all I need to hear. Thank you.
Thank you again for your
thank you.
time.
Yes.
Of course. I do wish you luck. I'm very curious to hear how it goes. Wonderful. Well, bye-bye. And she kind of just flutters up, and then you guys kind of begin to float back off of this little mote of light through the rainbow-tinted cosmos, and you all awaken. Back with kind of like XigXag, Tongart, and Shishu. You definitely have like a sharp pain in the back of your skull. As you all reawaken, you do hear some sparks and some shouting going, oh no, that's what, oh dear, I hope, okay, well that's gonna be really bad if that's, I mean, everything's fine, shh, and you see another shower of sparks, you hear a device powering down, and
XigXag comes back over holding like a lantern up and checking everyone's pupils and saying,
This seemed to work fine. Yes, you're all okay. Wonderful.
You have any salt water?
Salt. Hold on. Yes, I can probably find some salt water. All right, let's see here. Oh dear. Okay, there we go.
I'm just playing with you. It's all fine.
Oh yes, that's fine. Well,
Believe me, I know what people who I've drilled into their brains act like, but I really have gotten in there. Let's see here. How many tentacles am I holding up?
A lot.
Haha, correct answer.
Uncountable.
But anyway, we'll remove all these devices from you. And you hardy dragons, that you will have a bit of a thing. Like it's not even like a point of power.
It's a familiar thing to me.
It's a little sharpness, but it'll get away pretty soon.
Just like the old days.
Great. So
So, I see a few options before us.
Oh, are you guys back? Cool.
Hey, Elon. You're gonna be real excited. We need a lot of power.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably wealth.
sounds great. It's like, cool.
Hey, Elon, can you block us from being detected?
I'll tell you in a month.
Okay.
Yeah. In game time, I'll tell you in 5 minutes, but in a month, in out of game time, I'll tell you in about a month.
So I see before us, and perhaps with your strategist mind, Buku, you might see another plan here. But either we find the most powerful person on this planet and go, "Hey, that wish you haven't used, give it to us, by hook or by crook," or Shishu amasses a whole lot of followers and creates another religion, I guess, where everyone gives their wishes to her.
Wait a minute. I didn't even think about the tax implications of forming a religion.
Oh, you could be tax exempt. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
I would be so much richer if I was a religion.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, taxes are the real villain of this story, so yeah, actually, I think Shishu, that does make sense.
Yeah, that sounds right.
She's gonna go write her 10 Commandments.
Thou shalt not underlight.
There's one.
Thou shalt not put any followers above me.
Thou shalt not subtweet me, lest thou be subtweeted.
No comment shall be pinned before mine.
And then Shishu came down from the mountain and saw the likes and the subscribes and said, "This is good."
And shall not covet thy neighbor's follower account, for it is less than mine.
Oh my god.
And on the 7th day, Shishu went live.
That's good.
That's the one.
I'm dying.
She
We really have to expand on this religion thing.
Shishuism?
Shishuism, yes.
Then there'll be a whole controversy of then there'll be they'll have to do
We're back to naughty now.
back to naughty. They'll have to do like religious synods and councils about the issue of disclosing if it's a sponsored post or not.
Would you call your
And
own
then there
social
would
media,
be the late Shishu followers. And
Yeah,
then
sure.
there
There'll be a
should
schism,
Shishu-
and it'll be the
Schism Shishu was.
yeah, it'll be the Shishu spawn cons versus the Shishu. Yeah,
It's gonna be the shoes versus the shoes, right?
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
the cheese and the shoes.
Yeah.
The
No,
shoes and the
zigzag
shoes.
is a shoe.
Well,
On principle.
Definitely, I'm in the
yes,
subject.
exactly. Like I don't care about their policies. I'm a shoe.
I'm a shoe. Yeah. Shishu
I'm
is
shooting as a
going to
shoe.
go find Lagok to see if Lagok can file paperwork for
I literally don't understand what
for
you're asking.
Shishuism.
Paperwork for on a plane we've never been to. I think cart, horse. Never mind. You guys don't use carts or horses. You're dragons.
Just know that we're going to do this on all the planes.
Yeah, but I do understand aphorisms, so I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
I've one crazy idea to maybe make us strong enough to catch this wish. All right, we have how many wishes do we have banked? 8.
We have 8
Right.
currently. Yeah.
So here's my idea. We use 7 of them. Use 7 of them And I think inspiration from the Shishuism, Shishu, great idea. We create basically, what we want to do is we want to create like structures, businesses, corporations, or some kind of overseeing power structure that then oversees other people's power structure who accumulate power themselves, and then incentivize them to accumulate other people below them so that they accumulate more power,
So-
and we just
And if
funnel all
they,
You're
that
saying
up.
a
and if they
pyramid scheme?
incentivize 10 people and then they incentivize each 10 people.
Exact. You understand how this? Yeah, it's almost like a pyramid type of structure.
Well,
I would
actually,
say.
it
Oh,
sounds-
so it's like
sounds
it's
more
like what you
us.
learned in
Sounds-
High Delcat. Okay, yeah.
It sounds like it sounds like it's the other way around though. It sounds like it's funneling it down. So it's
Oh,
like
yo,
funneling to us,
think-
right?
I think that works even better. Yeah, sure. Let's
I think
have
a
gravity
pyramid- a
work for
reverse-
Well, it
us.
sounds like
yes.
we need to have if we're gonna pull this off. It sounds like we would need multiple levels of marketing in order to pull this
Well,
off all over the
I
place.
mean, I would assume so. But this is what I'm saying. We have all these extra wishes. We can just use those to kind of jumpstart the whole thing and build upon each other, right? Or as you would say, funnel it
A
down.
pyramid should be
condense
the
it.
symbol of my religion.
Oh, I mean
Mm.
that did seem to work in High Delcat. Why not fix? If it ain't broke, don't fix, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying. So, I mean, we're essentially taking what this big dragon has already done, right? That's what they're doing. They're using our power to make them stronger. We'll just do this in reverse to counteract it.
Does sound like it is a long-term plan, though, right? Which is fine.
Well,
But it does sound like it's going to take us millennia.
this
I'm
is
patient. I'm a patient dragon. I'm a patient bomb, But
If it's
That
a
too.
millennium,
Maybe we can have
1,000
a
years
time
later.
jump in the game, like
I
we are
do like the
back a
idea of
millennia
1,000-year
later,
time jump in the
finally
game.
ready to fight.
yeah.
1,000-year time jump.
1,000 years, and all we've
Or we
created
just
is
play it all
Herbalife.
out and we play this till we die.
1,000-year jump, and it's like so mid. It's like so not even like you haven't moved the needle at all.
At all. She's still doing fucking live streams.
Yeah, like, we're going door to door with Sally Mae Cosmetics.
Oh my god.
okay, guys. So we've got more debt, and we haven't paid it off yet. What do we do now?
Well, I think I got more. I think I got
It's a
another couple
great
acres I
plan,
can leverage.
Goku. Oh,
Well,
gosh.
so I obviously it could be something that I think the timeline can be on our own way. Now, if we were just going to use this scheme, this pyramid scheme to get our wealth, right? One could say that it would take millennia, I think normally, but we have 7 extra wishes to jumpstart the process. So we could use one to create the most powerful social media platform on Wyrmloth, right? And use that, and that already gets us to a higher plane already. We could
Why
use
are we
another
doing
one.
this in Wonderwood, though? Because that's where people have wishes, and we want
That
their
would actually.
wishes.
That's a good point. That would speed up the process if we went there and
Yeah.
instead of stuff there. Then they just give us their wishes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why
I
why
mean,
limit it? Why can't we do both?
It's a pyramid of wishes. Yeah. Are we going Wonderwood, though?
See, I think this is, we can say we go to Mondavoo and basically like, look, you work for us and you give us your wish, and then you accumulate 2 followers and you get their a wish from each of them, right? We can have the wishes just start piling up, and then every follower you get, you give us one of their wishes, and you keep it. But like this, I'm saying we can make it happen. Maybe.
Well, we're gonna be down one wish though, because when we go to Mount first wish is we have to not be dragons, right? We have to be able to shift. So then that's fine. We still got plenty of wishes. I think we're still fine if we're trying to set up this enterprise. It seems like all roads
Oh,
lead to
you're going to use a wish to jumpstart shape changing. That is a technique that very few dragons of Wyrmloth ever bothered to learn. But it is.
Can you, Dad? Can you?
Is that a technique we could learn?
Can you shape change?
I'm not shape change because it's too. I can't eat enough brains when I'm smaller.
Yes, but Professor Gerfois could shape change.
Well,
It
Maybe
is.
we
that's
gotta find
unfortunate.
someone to Teach us that.
It is.
Maybe that's our first stop.
I
Find a shape change expert.
I could
Look up.
attempt. I could attempt to guide you in it. I will certainly say that if you are going to use a wish,
you think you could wish that all of you would just be able to have the ability?
Yes, that was the idea.
That would jumpstart it and would probably get you... I mean, it takes years to learn. I think you are... I would say that based on what you've already done, your power level now, you're all ready to start learning, but it would take time. But again, you're speaking in very long times. If you want to spend a few years learning to shape change, especially if we could go to some remote plane with your amulet, if we were going to sort of if you're talking about a very long game, then you could save a wish by spending 4 or 5 years in learning shape
I
changing
don't
of your
think
own
we
accord.
want to do that. I think we kind of on the clock.
I see the benefits of either, so I will certainly. I have a wish in the sword. Should I? I could wish you all to
Well,
shape change.
just not
Let's let
yet.
go
Not
for
yet.
now.
I think it would really help my followers if I were shape-shifting, and they didn't know, you know what I mean?
Oh.
That would help with the mystery.
Yes.
It also would make you more relatable, right? Because like you would be just like them, right?
You'd just be a biped.
Except you
Yes.
wouldn't, but
You wouldn't. But
Shape-shifting?
I bet Shishu. I will tell you that.
no, but
when,
she would look like a biped, right? So
Shishu, though, when you gain
A
the shape
quadruped.
change
then you're part of
ability-
both worlds, right?
Yeah, Shishu, when you gain the shape change ability, I will tell you that you will probably be much more adept, and it will go much further with you, given you can already change your scales. You can make yourself invisible. You can already change your appearance so much. I'll bet that for the rest of you, it will take you'll be able to have a form. Shishu, you can probably have multiple forms and looks when you shape change.
Shishu changes her scales to look like a bunch of pyramids.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
There we go.
As a Straken look, Shishu.
We already have a logo. Great.
I mean, you have to brand it. Branding's everything.
True.
I
true.
look. So just workshopping, right? We're just spitballing here. Right? I know that we talked about Shishuism. What about Shishuology? The Church of Shishuology.
That implies that there's study, and I like it.
I feel like there's an older version of that called Shishunetics that just feels, I don't know. I can just really see in a mall kiosk Shishunetics.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
It is a very science-based, theology.
And
it
based on
sounds-
what you've said, it's like I know that Shishu's soon going to start talking about billion-year contracts, so it all tracks. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds better than Shishuanity, which sounds like insanity.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's not a strong selling point.
I was thinking shoeism, but that doesn't. It's didn't quite hit the right vibe. I feel like.
And
I
that
do
might be
like
confusion.
Shishuism because it's very about self-care and going inward.
Yes, it
But,
sounds very
looking to
appropriate.
me to show I'm the only way you can figure out how to do that, so you have to be in the religion. I mean, it's so funny that I thought of this just to be a tax break, but it just makes sense.
Actually, why are we limiting it? Why not just create several religions around you, right? You could have Shuism. You could have a Shishuism. We could have Shunto. There's so many.
And then all the religions can fight each other. Oh yes, that's fun.
Oh, there is money to be made in wartime profiteering.
Yes, lots of money.
There's no war like
Well,
a religious
this
war.
is.
I'm sorry. I just I get stuck on the history of things, and I suppose the practicality of starting wars is not ideal.
Well, I would say that as you guys
You're not
have-
wrong. It's a great profit margins in war, but I don't know that we want to start wars and think we're trying to end them. currently.
I'm
Well, I mean,
sure
wouldn't
they're
we
gonna
be-
start on their own.
But it'd be in the
It just
service of a
have to-
greater good, right? Right?
Yeah.
a few million souls die now to save billions later. I mean, that's worth it, right?
I would like to see the math on that equation before I say yes or no.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to say that as you guys kind of have these conversations, think about your next
What's the value of a
moves.
Wyrmlothian soul versus that of a Mondonian?
Okay.
This,
We're gonna before we wade further into that,
I think that's where we're going to end it now. As you guys continue to think about this, thinking of your next moves, you'll have a minute to think about this because, my dear friends, neighbors, viewers, and bots, because I know there are some bots watching us right now, and to you guys I say,
Bots.
1101101110111011101, which Franklin, that's the kind of thing Franklin would have said. So
Franklin, so cute.
Because of the so next week is Christmas Eve, the week after that is New Year's Eve, and then the week after that we're going to be back with Strange Lore. So we will not have this game again until, gosh, what will that be? The 13th of January?
Sounds right.
Sunday? Seems about right. So we'll be back to see you then on the 13th of January, but in basically 4 weeks. So the Dragons will have a long time to think about this / forget everything that just happened, and we'll basically just, next session will just be this conversation again. No, but we had some good. You guys got some good intel from Wenha and came to some cool decisions. So, thank you so much for watching. We do have a couple more games before we break. Unfortunately, also because of these holidays, we're not going to be off forever. We'll have some games, this coming week, and then some games the week after that. Just whatever. The only things we're sort of missing a bunch are these Sunday games of Here Be Dragons and Strange.
I see.
And
just anything I'm in. Just anything I'm in.
Anything you're in we're just like, he's out. And then on Mondays we're gonna miss a couple theme parties on account of, again, that those are Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So tomorrow we are back with our last theme party of the year. On Tuesday, not Wednesday, we have our special Top Flight holiday issue. So come check that out. What happened in our most recent Lost Lore Academia will have no impact on that holiday issue, let me tell you. None at all. Nope. Don't worry about what things might be coming for our friends to say, have a very final Christmas. So yeah, don't you worry at all. So check that out on Tuesday. We will then be off for about a week or so. I think we'll be back on Wednesday the 27th with a Lost Lore Academia. So weirdly, that one actually isn't skipping one. That one will have 2 weeks apart. And then of course this coming Friday, we will have... No, we won't. We're off this coming Friday. Then the Friday after that, the 29th, we'll be back with Blood from a Stone. So, theme party, holiday special of Top Flight, nothing for a while, Lost Lore Academia, Blood from a Stone, we're back on. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say...
But these are off for a long time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and whenever we're on the holidays, it's really... I mean, I best put all the links up, but, following the socials, staying Discord, Instagram, that's going to... keep you up to date with whatever pops up, whatever random scheduling thing we're doing.
There you go. And you can also always ask me on Discord. Speaking of which, go to our Discord to interact with us, participate in our Lost Lore Academia. Hey, Lauren did something funny on the Lost Lore Academia downtime because she hasn't been participating, but because she cares about that game. She said veto Jake. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I don't know if that means we are going to veto Jake. I don't know if more people... I don't know if votes against Jake mean... if the votes outweigh Jake. I don't know. I'm not sure what will happen. I think it's funny. So, I don't know. Look into that if you'd like. Go to our YouTube to watch old episodes. Go to our wiki, as Sophia is saying here. Just read the wiki and all this stuff. You can catch up on old episode summaries and see how stuff interacts, and there's a lot of good intel on there. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. Would anyone like to promote any of their own doings, socials, things, projects, passions?
What are you cooking up, Shishu?
I am cooking a lot because it's Christmas time. There it is. Hey, what a great gift to get for the holidays for somebody. Eat Happy and Eat Happy too, wherever books are sold. Or go to Eat Happy Kitchen and get the PDF. They're really yummy food recipes.
They are.
And not at all a religion.
Yet.
You should maybe change your stance on that.
I'll consider it.
Tax exempt.
Because I mean,
it's time for a food-based religion, really.
I mean, if you talk to anyone who's doing keto, it feels like a religion.
That is
food-based religion. It's the one religion that I would adhere to.
Yep, me too.
Give us this day our daily bread. Nothing else.
What are you doing, Jed?
So I'm, you can find me at Deadwood Jedi because I stream Raid Shadow Legends, and I've been streaming Dragonair, which is a D&D based gacha game, which I've actually been really enjoying. I've been doing that during the week, like Mondays and Fridays, and maybe a Wednesday here and there. But you can always catch my YouTube videos for Raid Shadow Legends. If you guys like playing, mobile video games, they're fun, they're easy, they're light. Pick it up, drop it off, play it for a while, get rid of it, get a new one. That's stuff I cover. Good times. But I know I'm not the only person that streams games on Twitch occasionally. Master Lasso, what games have you been playing lately?
Well, Friday we started Control, which has been great already. But Mondays and Wednesdays, which I think I will be able to pull off both of those, Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Mondays and Wednesdays it's been Spider-Man 2, which is phenomenal. It's so good. It's so good. But actually, I just was actually going to make a recommendation for people of the game. I'm going to kind of manzu because I know I just kind of pursued myself. But I found out about this game today and it sounds great. And I've been looking into it and it looks great. And it's just called Kind Words. Lo-fi chill beats to write to, I guess is the full title. But basically, this idea is a game where like you go in and you can send out requests of just like, this is something I'm going for, and people will write letters of support. They can look at a request and you write letters of support. It's all anonymous. Wow. And it's like a $5 game on Steam. And it was something that I found out when I was watching an old video about someone who was posting about how this was like helping them get through like the beginnings of the pandemic. And so apparently like it's you can't go on and on it, but like it does look like you just kind of can sit down and listen to some lo-fi beats and write some letters to people to offer your feelings of support. Now apparently you can still be awful to people, so they've worked on filtering, because there's an interesting point where like they said like they asked the developer on the thing I was watching, it's like how are you not overrun by trolls? And he said, well, you can look at someone's account and you can see them send out 7 messages and go, yeah, fuck you. Oh yeah, you're terrible. Yeah, what you think is bad about you really is bad. And then they'll send one request out that says, I'm very sad and have no friends. And it's just like, it's hard to write that person off as a troll. So they find rather than banning specific people, they kind of try really hard on content filtration.
Interesting.
On their, so that, because theoretically those people could still find help through it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Very heartwarming, actually.
That is sweet.
Yeah. So I thought it was a really cool thing where sometimes people and games can be very cool. So
awesome.
There you go.
There you go. That is I'm intrigued that is considered a game. It just seems like a social support network.
Yeah, and the thing about that's interesting, right? It's like it's all anonymous. There's no follower count. There's no, and I think that's part of the reason why, generally speaking, it sounds like it's not an awful place, because they get no feedback from that. They never get to see the person's reaction to it. They're not posting it in someone's timeline.
Yeah.
Right. And there's also no stress about that.
Wow.
And you can also look at something and go like, that's too heavy for me to deal with. And you don't have to deal with it, right? Like,
sure.
There's something very freeing about that too. So,
there you go.
There you go.
Vanda, do you want to mention anything you're watching or reading or anything or listening to?
Slow horses are just getting more and more awesome.
Slow horses are good. No spoilers on slow horses, but this season of slow horses, guys.
It is nice.
I like that slow horses is not despite it having slow in the title. I like that it is not a slow burn show. Every episode
has never
things happen, and that's nice. Yeah, great.
This is me looking up what slow horses are.
Oh, it's very
Apple TV.
My one liner on it is it's Gary Oldman in charge of all the MI5 fuck ups.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About what it is.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well,
I say it to people, I go like, let me watch that.
And he apparently never takes a shower or bath.
He's
or
just a
washes
repugnant human.
clothes.
It's very
delightful. Well, on that fun note, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in the new year. We'll see you in 4 weeks. But you can, carry on with everything on Discord.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow, but I mean, like, for the people who, in your Here Be Dragons mind.
Oh, for all of our dragon heads.
Quit.
We'll see you in 4 weeks, because 2024 is the year of Shishuology.
Oh my god, get ready for it, guys. You're gonna have to do a Shishu meter reading. It's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a lot.
Oh,
The
my
boutons?
dad
Oh my God.
could make
gotta
that
measure all your
machine for
boutons?
that.
And get rid of your SDs, your suppressive dragons. All right, very good, everyone. Until next time.
QQ, my father
It writes itself.
could make machines for that.
QQ's gonna help do the Shishu meter.
Yep. He can.
Oh my god, yes! Quadra6 is here for that. So in other words, you're saying I get to
Immature.
scan and keep people's brains? You got it. All
Not
right.
necessarily keep them, not all of them.
Sure.
Most of them.
Just the more interesting ones. The boring. Who wants to
So
keep boring
I like
things?
how once they got themselves free of the curse, that's when this turns into a full villainy campaign. Good night, everyone. Until next time, drag yourself a very little onmus.
Rar.